Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Breitling SuperOcean Heritage 46. You can see this vintage-inspired 46mm contemporary dive watch on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Breitling SuperOcean Heritage 46. Now on my wrist, you can see this watch 46mm across the round of the case sits well in spite of my spindly 16cm circumference forearm. Now the watch is 46mm across the round of the case, and that's not inclusive of its crown. It has no crown guards in true vintage fashion, but it is quite slim. Only 13.5mm thick, the watch easily slides underneath a tight sleeve or dress cuff, so if you have a large wrist and you want a watch that is proportionally appropriate, but you also want to wear it in a bathing suit or a business suit, this watch is an excellent solution. From lug to lug, 56mm is broad, but Breitling shapes the case to take average wrist size and wrist geometry into account. Note the dramatic downward slope of the lugs. This is how the watch avoids jutting out over the edges of a smaller wrist. It doesn't contrast with the plane of the wrist, which is to say it doesn't flare out and look awkward. Rather, it wraps itself around the forearm, which is why I could say this watch would still wear well down to 15cm in circumference. This is actually a decent large watch for small arms. Now the strap is spectacular. It is the Ocean Racer rubber, so in a lot of ways it apes the look of the metal Ocean Racer bracelet, but it fits so much better than that awkward piece. It's special to look at, it's special to feel. Has a wonderful relief channel. As you can see, there's a sort of hollow underneath that allows sweat, grit, moisture, and heat to escape, as well as the perforations themselves, which are excellent reliefs of any kind of moisture, oil, heat, grit, or dirt that might accumulate on the wrist during periods of activity. Now, the clasp is surprisingly deluxe considering the strap. This is what you would expect on a substantial bracelet. First of all, beautifully finished, very substantial, a lot of heft to it, polished and nicely finished on the inside, twin trigger deployment, not a clamshell. Breitling spent some money here, but they also spent some money inside, where you can see the push button slider. There it is. You push the button on the slider, and now you can actually adjust the strap in millimetric increments up to about 15mm. So it effectively subs for a folding out deployment, so you don't need to have a flip lock style extension for a dive suit. But what this really does is it allows you to size the watch precisely. If you want to give it as a gift, you only have to cut the strap to get close. If you're active, if you're inactive, if it's hot, if it's cold, you can make small adjustments, not the all or nothing of a flip lock style extension. Now the watch is beautifully made. Since the 2008 debut of the SuperOcean Heritage family, which is inspired by the original late 50s Breitling reference 1004, the SuperOcean Heritage has supplanted the Chronometer family as Breitling's best-selling modern line of watches, and you can see why. The case is simple, its geometries are sharp, it's attractive, all of high polish. Nevertheless, it doesn't look overwrought. The bezel is simple with minimal calibrations. It still works well, in as much as you can align it with the minute hand. You will note that the bezel isn't luminescent, however, so this is going to be an impromptu 0 to 60 minute timer for fish tacos on the grill or intervals between meetings. Now, of course, the dial, likewise, vintage-inspired, minimally adorned, baton-style minutes, broad arrow-style hours, and of course, the SuperOcean signature that's been gracing Breitling watches since the time of the 1004. However, it also innovates with the addition of a modern and, I'll admit, quite convenient date window. Not historically inspired, but then again, everything about this watch is of a higher standard of fit, finish, and materials than its much-loved vintage predecessor. And of course, the addition of fully polished and hand-applied indices further cements the luxury impression. It is a well-loomed dial all the same, with a luminescent pip outboard of each hour index. Now, the case flank does not have crown guards, once again vintage inspired, and you can see the bead style knurling of the bezel continues the theme. You won't miss the crown guards, trust me. It makes it easier to use the watch, and I find that if you get to the point where the crown is actually hit while on the wrist, you're probably missing some fingers at that point. 200-meter water resistance and a solid Scruton caseback ensure that this vintage style watch nevertheless has plenty of durability and real-world practicality in the modern era. Now, it is a special edition but not a limited edition. Special because of the combination of steel, the Ocean Racer strap, and the blue dial and bezel combination. And inside, a Breitling automatic winding ETA 2824 based caliber 17. The 17, 42-hour power reserve, bidirectional winding, 4 Hz beat rate. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, and as every chronometer should be, this one is equipped with hacking seconds, so you pull the crown, stop the balance, halt the seconds. There's also an intermediate crown position for quick setting the date should it run down. You can see and you can purchase this special edition vintage-inspired 46mm dive watch on our website.